Hello and welcome to another cup of coffee with me, Sandy. I was picking up my tuna, and there you go. Today's guest is rather special because I feel rather privileged, in fact, that I am able to speak with him. His grandfather was Michael Hoe, the renowned sculptor and calligrapher from Ireland, and all my Irish viewers will certainly know that name. And today I'm very privileged, as I said, to be speaking with his grandson, James O'Reilly. Hello, James, and how are you?
Hi Sandy, how you getting on?
Yeah, I'm
All good.
getting on fine. Gosh, it's so good to hear an Irish accent. I don't hear them very often on Cup of Coffee. So thank you for joining me. Well, you have quite a background. So I'm going to ask you first, tell me a little about your forefathers.
Right. My granddad, Michael Rowe, was a sculptor in Ireland.
Yeah,
Initially, he trained for 7 years as a sculptor and a calligrapher,
yeah,
and ended up doing quite a lot of things in Dublin city centre. And mostly, for people who don't know what calligraphy is, it is kind of stonemasonry of chipping into all the different stones and choosing what type of metals people are going to have on them and the type of writing and fonts. Before the computer days, where you could just choose Times New Roman.
yeah. Amazing, amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a piece of his work in the main street in Ireland, in Southern Ireland.
There is in O'Connell Street,
In O'Connell.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I have not been there, but I've read about it and I've seen some of his pieces, and they're absolutely amazing. Now let's get on to you. Obviously, art is in the family. When did you start painting and working in the art field?
Well, it was about 10 years ago, a little more when I was 15. I started studying art history quite a lot in school, just as kind of part you have to do in Ireland, you have to do every subject under the sun for the first 3 years in high school. So when I started studying art history, then I was just fascinated by the Impressionist movement and kind of the renegades at the time, such as Monet and stuff like that. And I just loved how they like you got all the religious type of paintings beforehand for the death or for the century beforehand, where everything had to be very perfect and every detail had to be in it. But then along came these guys and they were just kind of painting what they wanted. They were painting seascapes and all this type of stuff with, you'd say, very little detail, but really when you look at it, it's amazing. So that got me interested. And then for the last 3 years in Newbridge College, I took up art, which wasn't a popular decision on the teacher's part, but it was just something I decided I was going to do. So that's where I got my history, kind of painting people and landscapes and all that stuff. And then I came across Chris O'Hara, who became a mentor, who is the best-selling artist in Ireland at the moment, an abstract artist. And just about a year and a half ago, he took me under his wing in a studio and kind of taught me the first few steps of how to do abstract art. And I was just taken away by it.
You were blown away by it because you do it in a very special way, which I'll come to. But you happen to also now have left Ireland and you are in Spain. So what brought you to Spain?
Well, when I was a kid, we used to come here quite a lot, like every summer, sometimes, or every few months, really, sometimes for 5 months at a time. So Costa del Sol was always something that somewhere I wanted to move to, and the sun and everything like that, really.
Sun and the sea and sangria.
Yeah, no, practically.
I thought maybe
No,
it was a girlfriend that brought you down here, but obviously not.
no, actually, not at all. After a breakup with a girlfriend a few years ago, I decided I was going to go traveling, and I went all across the Canary Islands, parts of Europe. And I decided when I came back to Ireland then that I wasn't going to spend another few months in Ireland. I was going to move somewhere else. So
And
I just thought I thought Costa del Sol would be the best
yeah,
place.
which I'm very pleased that you have, because now we have got a very young, uh, new artist on the block, and always wonderful to have one of those around. Now, your art is very different. in as much as they are big pieces from what I can see behind you, but they're not flat pieces. And tell me why, and show me a piece of art if you can, because I know they're big. So if you can move around and just without moving too much, give me one of the pictures to the screen so I can see and tell me about it.
Sure, I shall try my best.
Okay.
Without putting it back to you, I'll go for this piece,
Wow.
which was a bit big to put on the camera.
It's huge. How big is that?
It's 1 meter by 1 meter, but it gives the impression it's a lot bigger, you know?
It looks amazing. Amazing. Okay, put it down and tell me how it is made up, because I know that you work with various methods of including sand, plastic, and other things. And as I'm not an artist, I need to be told. Enlighten me.
Yeah, sure. Well, a funny fact about me is I have no sense of smell since I was born,
What?
which is, yeah, never smelled a thing in my life. So people who know me know that my sense of touch it means a lot to me in whatever way, shape, or form. I can touch food and know if it's gone off without looking at it, get that feeling. So when I started painting, actually, Chris O'Hara's method of teaching me how to paint was he never taught me a single technique. He always taught me, well, he didn't really teach me much, but he got me for the first 2 weeks to go on my phone or my computer or whatever and find about 50 art pieces that I liked, to go through them on Pinterest or whatever like that, Facebook, and try to find 50 pieces and screenshot them that hit me in some way. And after the first 10, it was quite random. I didn't know what I was looking at. But after the 30, 40, 50 pieces, I started to get an idea of the type of paintings that I liked. And when I started them with acrylic paints and oils to try to replicate or try to find some type of methods that I liked, I just couldn't get the effects. And I found, like, I'd be putting down the brush a lot and I'd start to use my hands. And you find ways on Christmas, near Christmas, we like to go to the beach in my family, and I just decided to pick up some sand and wondered if this could be mixed with paint or glue. And then I tried to find cheaper methods when I wasn't going to the sea. So I started to use plaster and melt down other objects that I could and try to shape them into something, again, that represented the first 50 paintings of the style that I wanted to achieve.
Gosh, you are certainly a very modern artist. So the one that we've just seen, that is made up of what? Sand?
Sand and acrylic. There's very little plaster in it. The plaster is in the corners, but I didn't want to overdo it with that piece.
Okay. And what have you got next to you the other side that I can see, which is beigey in color?
That is a full plaster piece. If you don't mind, I'll just turn around and grab it.
Sure.
To try to explain better the methods. Again, just the same size. But if we're looking at this type of stuff, it is very textured.
Yeah.
And that is an awful lot of plaster. The sand is not included in this piece.
So
but then
that is, I'm going to stop you. That is plaster. And what are the little bubbles in the middle? Something, is it paint or is it something that is that's inside in the gray section?
Yeah, in the middle section it's paint.
That's pure paint. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much of my methods.
No. So the top and the bottom are the same sort of method, and the middle is pure paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And again, that is 1 meter by 1 meter.
It is indeed. I'll just put that down slowly. They do tend to crack if you drop them too hard.
No, don't, please. I'd rather wait because it's a lovely plant that I can see, and there's not a problem with that. Okay. So, do you love to do big things?
Yes.
Paintings?
Always.
You don't do any small paintings. You do man size.
Yes, well, I tried around Christmas. There was people were saying to me, "Oh, your paintings are massive. People can't take them home in a suitcase and stuff like that. And they're not very appropriate as presents. So maybe try to do something smaller." So I bought 4 canvases that were, what were they, 50 by 50 meter. And I ended up just putting the 4 of them together and doing a big painting with them. Remember, sell them separately. I don't know. I can't do a small painting. It just doesn't feel right to me anymore.
Okay, okay. And as far as color, what are the colors that you love to work with?
I tend to love to work with neutral colors. So grays, whites, blacks, gold, silver. Those would be my favorite.
Do you put any gold in? Because I'm very much a gold girl.
Yes, I love using gold, gold leaf, gold sprays,
Oh,
things like that.
okay. And since you've been here, have you had any exhibitions?
Yes, I've had two, two proper ones anyway. A few
Okay,
other
so
little cafe side things, but
tell me about them. They were
oh,
on the coast.
yes. The first one was, well, they were both in Duquesa, around the Duquesa area. And the first one was in a restaurant, the Yacht Club. So initially, when that restaurant opened, I just kind of, I was new on the block and wanted to display my art somewhere. So I went in and said, "Hey, your walls are pretty blank. Would you like some free paintings up? You know, I'll put up loads of paintings for you, as much as you want," thinking he'd say 2 or 3, you know.
Yeah.
He came back and said, "Can you do 15?" I was like, "How long do I have?" He's like, "You have about 2 weeks." So I didn't sleep much for those 2 weeks. But and then the second part of that deal was let me put, prices beside them and names and stuff like that and advertise. And quite soon it became a personal gallery for me, a whole section of the restaurant. So with that, then my first exhibition, the best idea was to do it there and to
Sure,
advertise it as widely as I could.
sure. And then you've had another one as well.
Yes, in the Castillo, which is a lovely historical building in Duquesa, like this old
Uh,
castle.
Now, do people come to you and say, James, we would like something your size, your meter size. These are the colors that we want. Give us an idea.
Yeah, definitely. I get plenty of commission work, actually more commission work than I would just paintings that I tend to do and post online.
Uh-huh. And of a month, how many paintings do you think that you could do?
In a month, how many can I do?
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a tough question. It depends. Now that my style has become something I'm used to and something I'm more comfortable with,
yeah.
I can get 2 paintings done a week.
Oh, that's a lot. I didn't expect that. I thought you were going to say possibly 3 or 4 in a month.
Well, it takes about 20 to 30 hours to do them, and I'm pretty relentless when I start, you know.
Yeah, you just
I'll,
go.
I'll bring up a cup of coffee and I'll just keep going until it needs to be dried, and then I'll go do some housework and I'll run up and down the stairs because I do all the paintings on the roof. So
Wow.
you know, that's where my studio is. You get burnt pretty easily over 30 hours, tell you that.
I've heard a little whisper that you're going to be exhibiting, if not already, in the wonderful Galeria 151
Yeah, that is
in
very
Estepona.
exciting.
And
Yeah.
is a fabulous gallery. And I've interviewed several of their wonderful artists, and I've been to some of their exhibitions, and it really is. It's a special gallery. There are two special ladies, and the openings that they have, and the way that they show the artists off. And it's wonderful because the artists are usually there as well, so we can actually speak to them. And it's it's a very relaxed feeling. But my goodness me, do paintings fly off the walls there?
Do
So
they? I hope
yes,
so.
so get yourself painting brush and whatever you're using at the ready for when you are showing at Galleria 151, because truly, I've actually been there when I've walked in and there's been a lady standing there with an artist, and before, within 5 minutes, she says, "Those two are mine, put sold on."
Mm.
So I've seen that with my own eyes. Anyway, what are your future plans?
My future plans in for my career?
Yeah.
Well,
Have you got?
there's a lot. I'd like to, now that I'm in the gallery in Estepona, I'd like to keep going up the coast. and get into as many as possible.
Right.
My mentor, Chris, tends to do a lot of art shows in Ireland, which are very big buildings with lots of different artists displaying their works. And they're very expensive to get into. You're talking into 5 to 10,000 for a weekend, but that would be the goal by the end of the year, by November, to definitely try to do one of them. A few more exhibitions, possibly. Maybe Gallery 151 might let me do a full exhibition in a few months' time. I'll have to have a look.
We'll have to speak with them, won't we?
Yes, indeed.
I mean, with your Irish charm, I think you could charm the birds off the trees. But can I be very personal? And you don't have to give me a definite, but give me an idea, if you will, of how much one of your paintings would cost.
For the 1 by 1 meter, they start at 300.
That's amazing. That really is. I thought it was going to be a lot more. So it's very affordable.
They are, in my opinion, yeah. Especially when you look around, if you go to other galleries and stuff, or even in 151, it would be one of the cheaper options there. But my career is only a year in, so at the moment, I just like to help as many people as I can get paintings up in their house that are mine.
Absolutely, and get your name along the coast for starters. And this is what I've been doing. I've been interviewing artists along the coast and even Gibraltar, because there is so many wonderful artists around, and they're not known, or they're known but not enough. And I am trying to promote as many as I can on Cup of Coffee, and that's why I'm so pleased to have you as one of my very young artists that I have interviewed. Are there any questions that you would like me to know about? Any things you would like me to know about? Anything that's happening very soon?
Not particularly, besides the Gallery 151 are having a kind of official opening of their new artists that are going to be displayed.
Right. Do you know exactly
sometime in March?
Okay, in March. So it's going to be probably near the Easter time, and when it gets slightly warmer.
Yeah.
Well, I can assure you one thing. I will certainly be there.
Great, thank you. That would be great to see you in person.
And I have a feeling that as you have got this get-go about you, and you said that you want to go further along the coast, you may be going to other restaurants and saying the same thing as you did to the first restaurant. Your walls are blank, and I think that you should have some paintings on your walls.
Yep. That's definitely something I do very often. But it's getting to the point now, as my style advances, it gets a lot more expensive to make a painting.
Yeah.
So say initially when I was trying to go into places and do that, I had a good bit of savings that I didn't mind throwing a few grand at a place to get some paintings up. But you have to have a bit more worth for yourself at this stage.
Absolutely.
Just 1 year in,
Yeah, but you know what? In France, in St. Paul de Vence, all the big French painters went to one specific restaurant, and they did exactly what you have done. They said, we haven't got money, which is what you said. We haven't got money, but we can paint. Can we put our paintings up, and can we get food for in payment? And that is how they started. And I actually went to the restaurant that started with so many Matisse and so many of the artists of the French time then. And that's how they started. So you seem today to be following in their steps without even knowing it.
Well, that's good to know, because I love the impression.
You didn't know. I don't know. But James, it's been a joy and a pleasure. Finally, to meet you face to face. Secondly, for you to show me your art and to give me a little bit of knowledge, because I am green as far as how art is made. I see a picture and I think, well, that's absolutely beautiful. But to find out how you do it is something that I am treading water at this stage. So thank you for sharing that with me. And I wish you lots of luck. And I know that as a go-getter, young man of, may I say, 26?
Yes, you're right.
I've just said it. By the time you are 30, I hope that you will still remember the people that you were with at 26, because I think that you are going to be a big man on the coast and further along as well. And
Thank you very much.
I wish you lots of luck. And again, I say thank you for sharing your paintings and your knowledge with me. And to my viewers, I say, Cup of Coffee will be back. I don't know, as always, who I'm going to have as a guest, but it will be somebody that we will be learning from, interesting, and always fun. So, James, you take care and good luck. Bye-bye to James. Thank you. And to my viewers, I say, take care. I will see you again soon. And I look forward to having a wonderful guest for you to enjoy their knowledge and their fun. Take care.